Hello everyone and welcome back to the Spearhead cast. Me Mats, where we have a map here, or a battle here on Lowland, I think it's called. It's like a recreation of a Blitzkrieg map from Company of Heroes 1, I'm pretty confident. We have like a little trench network up here on the hill. Your villages around, it's basically themed on the eastern front, but we're on the western front today. Also this little mud river down here with destroyed vehicles, a windmill, a church. It's a very cool map overall, with lots of different environments, like you have a forest up here in the north. So many different things. Let's go through the players. Represent the allies today. We have Wobber Flobber as the British Commonwealth for the commander. We have Orkon as the Americans for the commander. And rounding out, we have Poots, also the United States, also without a commander yet. Represent the Germans today. We have Crazy Man and the Wehrmacht without a commander choice yet. We have Tuan straight out the gate with Panzer tactics for the Waffen-SS. We have Flying Car 100 straight out the gate with Strafdivision for the Wehrmacht. Already starting out with some penal tubers coming out quick as we can see. It's a victory point game, so we'll see how this turns out. It'll be a very intriguing battle, all things considered. It's a very different map, even with medic stations on the field and a other reinforced point here. Like if you take this radio transmitter, we can get reinforcements in from this road up here. Very intriguing. Very different from other games. It's like this large lake here. I guess that's why it's called Lowland. Guess we can kind of think it's like somewhere in the Benelux area, where some places flooded. Oh, looks like one of the Americans gone for airborne. Yep, Orkon has gone for the United States airborne. Looks like the Storm Pioneers have managed to secure the victory point though, and taking cover behind the destroyed tank. You know, the Americans who have gone mechanized up here in the northern flank are securing the radio transmitter, which will allow them to get troops in from the north. So the allies are trying to encircle the German positions here. The Germans set up a defense around this hill where the windmill is on with the church. Try and keep the allies at bay. Coast Grenadiers and penal troopers on the move into the forest. There's also a lumberyard here, I guess that makes sense. Certainly looks like a lumberyard. Americans will secure the radio transmitter, which means that American reinforcements can now arrive from this point if they decide to pick a area of the location where the units should arrive to when they get recruited. If it's close to that spot up there, they will arrive from there. American riflemen are winning on this engagement. The medium range is to their advantage. Winning rifle shots towards the Storm Pioneers. Storm Grenadiers are trying to hold it back here, and some Wehrmacht forces are trying to keep the British forces at bay. Trying to circle down here. And the main thing about this map is a lot of the fighting will be around this area here, because you can just secure all the parts down here without any issue if you are here on that side, and obviously up here. So it's like two areas that's going to be a lot of the fighting. I don't know if those Pioneers are going to survive long. They do have some time they can take cover behind that. Trying to Gabaldalado, and they succeed. Germans are in full-on assault mode here. Oh, that was a good Gabaldalado. Looks like that one rifleman squad up there did survive, or did not get stunned. Which allows the Americans to get a little bit of an upper hand here. As you see, our troops are not getting back on their feet. Germans have been pushed back. I need the center that British are trying to push up, but they can't really as the Germans are digging in the mud where the water's flowing through. We have an MT-34 coming up here for the Waffen-SS. So the allies are going towards the lumber camp. Germans are going to try and intercept. But in these kinds of close quarters engagements, the Americans should have the upper hand. American infantry is very good in the assault like this, especially with a lot of light cover to help them in their approach. And the M1 are just cutting through the German infantry. That's just so much M1 Garand fire. Now the Germans are in big trouble. They need to do something quick to turn it around. The British just keep pressuring up here. Waffen-SS are trying to keep this point under German control, and they will succeed by the looks of it. Americans can't really approach it. The British are slowly pushing up here. The Wehrmacht needs to send some more troops. Us needs to send some more troops northwards, actually, to help deal against the Americans in the forest. So the Germans are somewhat getting overrun there. They was also securing this medic position there, to allow them to replenish their troops if they have to fall back to it. British make a machine gun on the field as well. British also have a forward assembly over here. They could probably have set it up over here, to be honest. Also to the medic station, the field hospital. That's just my opinion. But with the Germans having the field hospital, they will be able to heal. So that's certainly going to help them. But the Allies are just taking full control of the forest here. They're keeping an eye on it. The Germans are going to need to do something else to turn this around. They have prepared a lot more infantry here to push northwards. Post-Grenadiers going to probe. They usually get shot at by the Americans as they see them approaching. Let's quickly vault the fence. And looks like the Mthis is going to send troops northwards to help secure the forest again. Need to be cautious though, the Americans have dug in most places. I said the Sturmgrenadiers should be very superior to the Americans in long-range engagements. Also the Wehrmacht supporting on this flank. Very long firefights now going on. And at this range I think the Germans should have the upper hand. But sometimes it's hard to judge because the American infantry can just put out an insane amount of firepower. Plus those M1 Garands. Also have some mechanized troopers now arriving up here. Also the BAR rifleman squad nearby. There's a lot of bullets being flung at each other here. What is going on though? The Americans are going making a push here for the central victory points. Looks like Crazy Man has gone for Panzerdivision. Not a bad choice. Panzerdivision is pretty damn reliable. The Germans are certainly running out of options here. They've been pushed back pretty hard very quickly. But we have an MG42 here on one of the Sturmgrenadier squads. Friendly down some suppressor fire. One American squad could mow down there. The Germans are making their way through. Americans are trying to set up a forward headquarters, but I don't think that's going to help them here. They're about to be cut off and surrounded. The Wehrmacht needs to push up their troops as well. Yeah, the Americans need to just be in full retreat. They've lost everything up here. But they're going to lose everything up there if they don't move. You see as it comes, the Germans, they're encroaching on the position. Yeah, the Americans just have to pull out. They cannot hold that lumberyard anymore. It's a brave attempt from the United States, but looks like the Germans, pulling all their forces together, managed to push them out. We have an airdrop going on somewhere. I don't think it's going to be behind the line, though. Too close to the bases. The airdrop back here on the open field, right? I guess that makes sense. Maybe some airborne reinforcements to the front line. Germans are destroying the forward headquarters there inside the lumber camp. Because unlike in Ironside, you cannot decapture the building. It's probably a feature they should see if they can implement into Spearhead. At some point. That would be nice.
A capture point is under attack. What do you need? Ready. To arms.
But the Germans have now secured the one section of the forest, though. That'll help them a little bit. But the Americans are still digging in around this crossroads. I mean, a crossroads is like a... What's this called? I'm not sure what this is called, but it's a like free pathways. A splitway? Not sure about the English word for it. Anyway, it looks like the Germans are pushing further up into the forest. They're getting a little bit more ground to work with.
Grenadiers reporting objective capture.
Most shots are being fired though, mostly around the center here. So the Brits have gone for, I think that's armored. A Royal Tank. Okay. A Royal Armored Royal Tank. Very similar. Also, we have the Großdeutsch and Panzerdivisions, Panzergrenadiers arriving on the front line. The Germans are doing all they can to try and get a position here. They need to get to that victory point in the center. Or they can just keep pushing on the northern flank. The Allies are digging in. That 50 caliber emplacement is going to be very hard to overcome. Especially once they finish setting up all the sandbags too. The Germans said before, MG42 here manned by some Dino troopers. I should be able to hold this part down.
We have a fresh Grenadier squad.
Both Grenadiers are probing. And I immediately noticing they did not want to approach that way. That's a lot of Americans holding that area. Germans are going for the point though. The airborne are holding the ground. The airborne are pretty damn good infantry. They're very elite. Probably some of the best basic infantry the Allies have access to if you're playing against the United States. The Germans need to get that point to at least decapture it, if anything. And so they're not really in a rush yet. The points are still fairly high. Also some Grenadiers are trying to push up here behind this destroyed tank. The British lieutenant is overseeing the front line. But the Allies are just ready to stop the Germans from securing the point. Oh, good pineapple grenade. But they can kill it off of the squad there. before to being pulled up here by the Wehrmacht. The British forces keep holding the ground. Looks like the lieutenant is keeping them all inspired. Remind them to fight for king and country. And he stands there very dapper with his beret.
Promotion is available.
Looks like the British, not the British, the German Untersturmführer. So the move here from the Waffen-SS. And the throw grenade there. A smoke grenade by the looks of it from the post grenade here. We're gonna go at the point. The Americans quickly setting on an airborne squad. Tossing a grenade in, and some US are moving into the point. Germans tried to T-pose, but did not save him. Oh, US did get pinned down, but they did manage to get the Germans off the point. Oh, artillery landing around the American positions. One airborne squad got killed, that's pretty bad. Yeah, one has set up a forwarding cannon though.
Our fighting position now has some ordnance behind it.
Well, the mechanized forces remain dug in around this radio transmitter and are also setting up more fighting positions. The Germans are not making a move up here yet. They do have the German military police on the field as well. Just keeping an eye on things. What's the German machine gun? They retreated back to the base for some reason. That's also a push-up there, missed. Ooh. Good artillery strikes actually hitting the British quite hard. But the Allied mortars also hitting the German positions. Looks like the Sturm Grenadier is stuck there behind the MG42. That's not good. He cannot really move because he's already opening fire. That's the problem with that check headshot there. More Grenadiers get into the front line. Looks like one guy did die to the guy who was stuck, which allows the rest of the squad to move. Which is one guy, obviously, but at least you get the squad back. That's important. Nobody's doing their best to try and push up here, but there's just a lot of Allied fire they have to push through. Especially with all those mortar shells. German mortars trying to fight back in counter-barrage mode. Doing the best it can. It is outside of cover though, but so far it's been lucky.
What's next then?
Looks like we have some Australians arriving here for the British. One of the battle groups available to Royal Tank, I think. Running with a Centaur and a AEC. Damn, that's some good weaponry. An AEC can swap to using high explosive rounds as a space weapon. Makes it very reliable against the German infantry. Not sure what the Aussies are good at though. I'm imagining long range combat. Ah, they can get Thompsons. Oh, we have some white phosphorus rounds landing around the Germans too. That is very horrifying. White phosphorus is no joke. Okay, well, the Americans just keep digging in up here. In quite a heavy fighting position. And for the Germans are setting up a pillbox. So the Germans might be able to manage it though. We'll have to see. Because that pillbox will become a problem. Depending on how things go. And indeed, they knew they managed to set it up. I need this to get an MG42 inside. Well, I think the center of the strikes keep happening. We have some Panzer Grenadiers here from the Waffen-SS, the 17th, if you're playing as Panzerjäger. Get the MG42 100 rounds, by the way. Makes them a very good support, you know. The AC is ready to move here. It's already swapped to high explosive. This thing is going to be very dangerous. As you can see, already clearing out a machine gun there. Germans are quickly trying to get a Puma out of something else. They need some more AT equipment. Also getting a pack.
Can we shoot something down?
This is ready to move into action to support its British infantry. Artillery lands around the British positions. Looks like the British decided it's not worth it at the moment. The pillbox is trying to hold it, but it's been suppressed and opening fire again. The pillbox will give it a lot of protection. Pillbox provides a lot of bonuses. It's having issues hitting the Americans behind all that heavy cover. It is also firing at its maximum range. Also, the Waffen are preparing for a push for the forest. Lots of Sturmgewehrs have been handed out to some of them. Lots of varied equipment. I guess they're just waiting for the right time to move. They need to stop that fighting position though. Fighting positions, actually. It's not going to be an approach they can really do anything with. There's like no cover in this little stretch here. Smoke is landing. Will that be enough? They're still going for it. Like, it's very brave of them, but I don't think it's going to avail so much. They'll get an artillery strike off, but I think the Unsumfjord might die. The rest of the squads have already started to retreat. Oh, good artillery strike though. You take a one fighting position. And Unsumfjord managed to actually pull back despite everything. That's very fortunate. The German infantry from the Wehrmacht is having issues pushing up against this fighting position.
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
Managed to get a Molotov on it, a Bandflasche to be more specific. Not doing too much to it actually. Followed by a Steelhandgranate. Almost destroys it. We do have a half-track right here, but coming in against the United States. We also have an airdrop coming in. Probably some equipment for the mechanized force of the United States. No, actually some actual airborne landing into to aid them. A bit of a risky landing. Especially in the forest, but it looks like they all made it. Half-track is on the assault here. There was some lacking AT equipment on the northern flank. Also, he's not getting a Panzerfaust. Oh, incendiary armor piercing bullets is doing enough though, I think. Got too close.
Light vehicle just got destroyed.
And the photos are dangerous, and that is a lot of Americans piled up behind those sandbags. And Silver Strike's been called in here. Forcing Germans off. At least for the briefest of moments. Oh, it's still a pillbox. Oh, looks like the Germans push for the center here. The Germans have been going around the center. I completely missed that. I guess they were not prepared for the AEC and the rest of the Allied forces assaulting. Pushing across that river very quickly. And they're using high explosive rounds to just tear through the German line. Panzerfaust on the flank though. Puma's trying to fight back here. It has managed to jam the turret. It takes it out. But the Allies have made a beachhead here. They're pushing across slowly. And that's what the Germans do not want to see happen. We have an observation stock here from the artillery division. Well, Panzer division, but it's technically under the artillery because of how the stocks were organized. It's a very awkward thing. And that's a lot of German infighting about it, actually, I believe. At least politics and drama. Everyone trying to assault here towards the pillbox. It is undefended at the moment, but artillery is landing around it. I'm going to take the central charge off. I don't think that'll destroy it, though. Nope, pillbox is still too tough. We have a Panzer IV F1 arriving and another stock here, another observation stock. Germans need to get all their reserve armor onto the field here to hold the line. But the Allies have just moved a little bit further up here. And the Elks and the American mechanized force are just being ordered to hold this road. It's providing enough of a distraction to keep the Germans occupied up there. The rest of the Allied forces are pushing across the river here. At least it's the stream that's been formed. Loose got armed Australians trying to push up here. Doing a pretty good job. Germans are securing the windmill again. Looks like we have some kind of artillery strike going in. Not sure what artillery strike that is. Oh, actually it's an airstrike. It's the United States Air Force is coming in with a 50 caliber Overwatch. Oh, you're trying to pin down the German infantry. It's being hit by flak now. And machine gun fire. And gets taken out. I do think those planes do get taken out a little bit too easy just by machine gun fire. And our airstrike going for the Air Force. It misses. Those scare the Germans off a little bit. Observation stock is in trouble though, because it has no anti-infantry capability. Unlike the normal stock, it can not actually use its machine gun on top. A lot of mortar shells still being used here by the Wehrmacht. But it's not really helping them too much. I get to bring in some German 76ers now. And some New Zealanders arriving with a Churchill. Okay. So the Allied force bringing in a lot of equipment. Now encountering some of the Germans trying to hold the forest line. I don't think the German Wehrmacht is prepared for a Churchill and a Sherman though. Also a truck arriving there. And also more Shermans arriving. The Allied forces just being very aggressive here. The vicinity just remain dug in around the lowlands. The Germans are desperately trying to keep the Allies off. But Churchill's now advancing. Panzer IV is gonna be way over its head here. You don't want to get penetrated there. Assuming that he's going to really advance safely across open ground. Oh, there is a observation stock nearby to support though. Aircraft is now assaulting, falling behind the Shermans. That's a lot of American assault infantry, including assault engineers. Or well, common engineers. Already being equipped with grease guns to lead the offensive. Plus another satchel charge to that pillbox. F1 is doing his best to try and keep the Allies at bay. But the Germans are just doing too much here. The Churchill's providing a very good brick for the Germans to try and target. The artillery is landing around the forest though. Just like 10.5 centimeter. More artillery landing around the area. Double cam is being completely destroyed. Joe's gonna have to fall back. The Allies are prepared to push forwards again. Oh, the observation stock has been detracked. That's not good. It's about to flank. Woman does not know that they're being flanked. As we return that turret. Oh, it might be too late though. Yep, the observation stock gets cleared out.
Heavy armor has been lost. Taking fire.
Oh my god, that's a good shot there though.
A medium tank was just lost.
Churchill opens fire with a high explosive round, almost destroys the Puma. It was an AP round, I would have destroyed it immediately. Germans keep pushing. You have another airstrike from the Air Force. More artillery landing as well. I think the Germans have been overrun. They're about to be completely encircled. They have to pull back. So we do have another panzer push here for the sender. I don't think it's going to reach far. The Allies have just too dug in here with infantry. And while up here, they just keep pushing. HQ down. Oh, Churchill's there. Turret is jammed. And Sherman gets destroyed by Panzerfaust. But the Germans are not going to be able to make an easy comeback here. They're still trying here for the sender. Oh. Okay, so the Sherman now gets hit by a bazooka. The Germans have to just pull back here. Stock is being immobilized. And so the Germans surrender at that point, just as the observation stock gets hit by a bazooka. Quite this shot. Hope you all enjoyed this one. See you next, everyone. Bye bye.